Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, let's talk about why I have to make another James Charles video in 2025. Why is this creep not canceled yet? Let's talk about it, and I have a lot of reasons why. Because people keep asking me, talk about the situation and why is it not canceled? The answer is pretty simple. The reason why James Charles is not canceled and he keeps getting away with it is because of his fans. So you can demonize James Charles all you want and he deserves it. His fans are the real issue here. Let's talk about the James Charles fans. Yeah, you. No, I'm kidding. Getting all personal. I'm like, yeah, girl, you. No, I'm not kidding. Not you, but the ones who. I mean, there are going to be some James Charles fans who are going to come on this video and they're going to be like, oh my god, he's such a queen. I love his reviews on TikTok. I love his YouTube videos. I love his painted line. Like, he's such an unbothered queen. Like, I just live for him. Like, you guys are just haters. This video is for those people. The delusional people, okay? Who want to stick their head in the sand. Okay, let's talk about them because they're the reason why James Charles still has a platform. Why he's abusing his platform and getting away with it for all these years. Even if he's being called out over and over and over again. This is like a little cycle. He gets called out. The receipts are all over the internet. He says an apology. A few months go by, a year goes by, he does it again, the same pattern. His fans keep enabling it. I know he's lost some fans on TikTok. Okay, he had 40 million, right? What does he have now? 39 million, 38 million? I mean, it's not enough. He would need to lose all of his fans on TikTok, which is not going to happen. He still has 24 million subscribers on YouTube. Okay? This man is not going anywhere anytime soon. Unless his fans wake up, stop supporting his makeup line, stop supporting his reviews on TikTok, stop supporting his YouTube completely, stop supporting him at all, and pretend he doesn't exist anymore. Okay? Ghost him. James Charles needs to be ghosted. Okay? The one person who deserves to be ghosted is James Charles. All his fans need to ghost James Charles. Okay? Then he'll be gone. Then he'll be fully canceled, okay, for good. And then we don't have to make videos about him anymore, okay? James Charles is a disgusting person. We know this. The receipts are all all online. They have been for years. He does the same thing and rinse and repeat, right? But his fans who prop him up, make excuses for him, stick their head in the sand, and pretend that he is just this great guy he's just being bullied online. James Charles, he's just misunderstood, and leave him alone, and he's learned from his mistakes. Really? He's learned from his mistakes? Is that why he keeps doing it every year? Is that why? These stupid fans of his are the same ones who are like, you see, James Charles didn't do anything bad. He flew that guy out there. And they just watched the movie and then he sent him home the next day. Girl. When I watched that video last week of James Charles saying that they watched the movie and they hung out and then he left the next day. Girl, I was born a day, but yesterday wasn't that day, sweetie. I was not born yesterday. Are you serious? We all know what really went down that night. Okay, girl, we all know what went down. What always goes down between him and straight curious guys, okay? James Charles loves those straight DL questioning guys because James Charles has an inferior, oh my, I can't even talk it. Ugh. James Charles has an inferiority complex. He's insecure, deeply, okay? Because if you're secure with yourself, you're gonna find somebody who's gay, honey, or bi, out, okay? You're not gonna look for the closest questioning, DL, super closeted. I've only been with girls, but like, I don't know, like, maybe I'd hook up with a guy with a couple of ears, like those kind of guys, those creeps, just like him, because creeps attract creeps. Okay. You ever wondered why those people were like, Only creeps tend to follow me. Only creeps tend to be attracted to me. Maybe because you're a creep too. You attract your kind, usually. There are a few exceptions, of course. But you attract your own kind. So, James is a creep. So he's going to attract creeps. Okay? That guy that James Charles invited, I'm not going to say his name because he's disgusting. Okay? Came there because he wanted 15 more minutes of fame, and he thought James Charles would give it to him. Okay? James Charles couldn't resist. Why would you be flying anybody out anywhere, James? Unless you wanted to be up to no good. Okay? But anyway, we all know this. I'm not saying anything that's crazy. And if I'm saying anything that's shocking to you, then, honey, you are a part of the problem, honey. None of this should be shocking. It's obvious. Unless you're a complete idiot. Okay? We all know what happened that night. The same thing that always happens. James is lying. He's gaslighting. That's what he does. He lies and he gaslights. I was going to put some more gloss on, but I was like, you know what? No. We're just going to keep going. I'm going to roll here. Okay. He gaslights, manipulates, bullshits his way through everything. And his stupid-ass fans enable him. And he won't go away until his fans stop doing it. So, like I said, we can all make a million videos and show all these receipts and talk about everything he did wrong and blah, 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 dissect all his lies. The fans. The fans who don't want to believe it or believe it and don't care, who's still going to watch his naked reviews, call him a queen, call him an unbothered queen, call him that he's a victim. You guys are just so mean to him. Like, he made mistakes, but he's learned from it. You know. And let's talk about the other problematic people who we've canceled, who aren't really canceled. James Charles is still there. Jeffree Star. Okay. He's still around. Shane Dawson is still around. All that happens is people run them off of YouTube and they go on TikTok. Shane Dawson didn't even bother. He just stayed on YouTube. He's like, screw it. Yeah, he doesn't get 20 million views a video, but he never, no one really from that era does anymore anyway. You know what I mean? So he wouldn't have anyway. That wouldn't be. Shane's doing just fine. Okay, he's still selling merch, and he's still doing his podcast with Rylan, and he just got a new cameraman, and he got a new assistant to help him with his videos. When Andrew and Garrett couldn't take his BS anymore, didn't want me to be treated like shit, and they left, they bounced, okay, their eyes got open, like that song, I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign, they saw the sign, they left, honey, they went no contact. As when you're on a narcissist, the best way to do it is go no contact, bye, deuces, see ya on the flip side. That's what Garrett and Andrew did in 2020. And they saw Shane for who he really is, and they're like, bye girl, bye girl. So it is what it is. Well, most of the internet left, except for a million people who still watch this podcast and conspiracy videos, girl. But anyway, and then Jeffree Star. Okay. People tried to cancel him. What ended up happening? He went to TikTok. He's killing on TikTok. His makeup is still selling out. Yeah, not like it was in 2019, but the industry isn't the same in things have changed, but he's still doing great, girl. He's still worth over $200 million, living his best life, spending his whole life on TikTok Live. So Jeffree's not canceled, Shane's not canceled, Colleen Ballinger, yeah, she doesn't make as many videos as she used to. Maybe the views are down a bit, but she's not gone anywhere because of the fans. The fans are the issue. These people's fans are the issue. If they support the person will not go away. So the Colleen Ballinger fans, the Jeffree Star fans, the Shane Dawson fans, the, whatever. James Charles. All these people who do rotten things and are called out repeatedly will keep doing it. Okay? Now, I will say, Shane has, out of all of them, you know, he's maybe a little bit better from what I've seen, a little bit less problematic. Although that podcast with that Katie, whatever her name is, girl, might have good luck, sweetie. And then her trying to play the victim, that psychologist from the Jake Paul series. Oh, I was really canceled. It was really hard for me. Oh, it was hard for you? What about pretending Jake Paul was a sociopath for a few episodes just to get some views? I'm not saying Jake Paul is this amazing person. I mean, we know he's a piece of work himself, but imagine a psychologist pretending that someone's a sociopath just to get some views because you want some of the Shane Dawson followers, the same ones who called you out and then you didn't like them calling you out. The hypocrisy is so crazy. It's next level. But anyway, and then trying to play the victim party in the podcast for an hour. I watched it because I was bored. I was like, oh, wow. And then everyone's like, Shane, you've really grown. You've really grown since 2020. Those are the people are the problem. It's the fans. They're the problem. We can keep demonizing all these, like Onision. The reason why it took him so long to leave and be fully canceled off YouTube is because his followers kept supporting him. You know what I mean? That's the issue. So everyone who's like, why isn't this person canceled? Why isn't that person canceled? Is because they're followers. They keep enabling them, and that's why. So we can call them out all they want, make a million videos. And you will be wondering, why are you making this video? Because I feel like it. Because I'm bored out of my mind. No, I'm kidding. No, because I don't know. I just feel like talking about it. I feel like talking about it, so I'm talking about it. Is this video going to help anything? God, no. God, no. His fans are still going to support. People are going to still support whoever they want to support. And that's totally fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't or shouldn't, but I'm saying don't act shocked when people aren't canceled and you keep supporting them. You support problematic people, they're going to stick around and keep being problematic. James Charles keeps doing it because he keeps getting away with it. Does James Charles belong in jail? Yeah, of course. Is he? No, he's in a huge mansion in LA in a swimming pool. Is he gonna fly out more men to his house and hit on them and do creepy shit with them allegedly? Of course he's gonna do that. Is he gonna enable, I'm not gonna say A-words, you know? Is he gonna lie and gaslight his audience every time he does something bad in a year or 2 years? Of course. And they're gonna be like, it's fine. People make mistakes 100 times every year, but it happens, you guys. Hey James, ignore the haters. Can you review the latest foundation, latest highlighter, latest blush, latest setting powder, latest mascara? James, such a queen. I trust your reviews. Those people are the ones. The reason why James Charles is gonna keep getting away with it. So yeah, it's a vicious cycle that won't stop. So it doesn't surprise me why James has gotten away with it again. And next year, when the next thing he does happens, and we all call him out, and people are like, well, why does he have a platform still? Because his fans don't care. The same ones who buy his makeup palette and his brushes and his sponges and watch his reviews and call everybody a hater who calls him out, and you're just jealous and okay. Yeah. The enabling is next level. The enabling is next level. You know, yeah, Shane Dawson's a little bit better than he was, or maybe he's just better at hiding it. You know, Jeffrey's still the same. He still acts on TikTok Live horrible, says horrible things. He's nasty, and I mean, even up until recently, Jeffrey's still playing the victim, and how he, I mean, you know, so he's still doing his thing. And then Colleen, girl, whew, James, and oh Lord have mercy. So I mean, and like I said, Shane's a bit better than the rest, but I mean, it's still not gonna work. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's still a hot mess, you know? But on the flip side, you know what else I don't like? And I don't want to defend these people, but I will defend Shane once on this one thing. All the people who lived for his documentaries in 2018, and then now that he was canceled, they weren't even documentaries. They were just long vlogs. They were so boring. Shut the fuck up, okay? Those were good-ass videos. They were very entertaining at the time. Were they problematic? Some of them, yeah. And there were problematic parts, of course. But they were entertaining. You all ate that shit up. And now you want to pretend that they weren't good, and you want to... No. Don't rewrite history, sweetie. Hold people accountable, but don't rewrite history. Because there are a lot of people who were Jeffree Star. He was problematic before 2020, and y'all want to pretend that he wasn't because you thought he was a fierce queen. Okay, girl? So let's just keep it 100, okay? Colleen. She was always a mean girl. Fair enough. A lot more came out. Okay, and of course other things that happened, which I'm not going to discuss because, you know how it is on YouTube. But, and then James. He was always very obnoxious and annoying, and, but he played the victim, and then the bi-sister thing happened, and everyone, because Jeffree and Shane manipulated things, Tati, and we know the story, and then he was painted as the victim in that, and yeah, he kind of was a little bit, but then it came out that they were right, but then they went about it the wrong way. Anyway, we all know the story. I don't have to go into it a million times, but anyway, they're all bad in their own ways. Everyone had a little hand in the situation, whether they want to admit it or not. Doesn't think what Tati did was right. Yeah, she was at the end of the day. Was Tati right about James? Yeah, but she did it in the wrong way for the wrong reasons. Anyway, this video could be an hour long, but I'm gonna wrap it up. Let's just wrap this up, and I'm gonna go. James Charles will never change until he has to, and he doesn't have to. He's still popping on TikTok. He's still making YouTube. He took the week off because of all the drama. But he'll be back this week with a new YouTube video, I'm sure. Doing tiki-talkies, reviewing the latest products. And his fans will eat it up. And this story will die down in a couple of weeks. And it'll be on to the next. And then next year, something will come up again. And some other person will say, oh, this is what James Charles did. And this is the tea. This is the tea. And I'm not saying everybody is blameless and it's all James Charles. No. I'm just talking about all these big influencers right now and why they're not canceled, okay? There's a lot more to the story, of course, but I'm here to break it all down because you know the story. I don't have to, keep going on about the whole situation. But just thought I would talk about this portion of the situation because it needs to be said. And also... one more thing, I know I keep saying one more thing, but one more thing after the one more thing is people are upset at James and have been for a long time because James Charles puts a bad stain on the LGBTQ community, and I agree he does. There are people who maybe don't have a lot of LGBT friends, they maybe live in a small town and think that James Charles represents us. No, he doesn't. James Charles is the 1% of the community that's disgusting. There's a 99% of the community, the LGBTQ pluses, non-binary, everybody in the hood, girl, hi. We're good. We're keeping to ourselves, doing our thing, being fabulous, being unproblematic. But there is that 1%, like James Charles, who does fucked up shit, okay? So if you don't have a lot of gay friends around you, you live in a small town, you think that James Charles represents the whole community, hell no. And that's another issue we have is, because he's so famous and he keeps getting away with this shit, people think that no. Don't lump us all with that, okay? Nasty, evil manipulator, James Charles. The rest of us here who are just trying to go day by day, okay, and live our lives, okay? So, we're doing the most in a cute way. James Charles is doing the most in an evil way, okay? There's a huge difference. Evil. Regular folk shouldn't get through the day, okay? So I don't want people to think that James Charles represents the whole community, because he does not. Not even close, okay? And it just sucks that there are people who are gonna think that we're all like James Charles. We're not, okay? We're not. Not even close. We respect people's morals and boundaries. We don't lie and gaslight to our audience. We don't do that. James Charles does it all day, every day. He doesn't even know how not to do it because he's in it. He's in the cesspool. Okay. Oof. Anyway, that's enough rambling. You get the point. Like up, subscribe, leave a comment. Until next time. Bye, guys.